Welcome my dear student for the BCA 6th semester session number 44. So in this session we will deal with the topic like we are going to evaluate our expressions using test command or by using the big brackets. Okay, so before going on to today's session, we will have a small recap of previous session where we learnt about the operators, where we are all very familiarized with these operators and symbols. Still we wanted to know about how the actions will be done on our Unix Shell scripting. So especially when we move on to this file test operators, it is purely shell oriented. So this is a very new concept for our learning. So after that we also looked into the conditional statements, how it will work from the simple if statement to a nested if statements. So you have a 4 variants of the if statements in a Unix Shell programming, where we saw simple if and if else statement, and as well as the elif statements with the nested if statements. So here else if, ladder and nested if is in terms and C programming. Okay, so we will move on to our today's class, that is using test and big brackets in order to evaluate the expressions. So whenever you are evaluating a Boolean expression, setting the exit code in order to indicate like whether the answer is true or false, that is the result will be in two conditions, that is whether it is true or false. This is used to express the logic of the control constructs which is used for your shell script programming. Actually, there are two ways in order to invoke test. So either with the command, that is test, or with the alternate form, that is by using square brackets. So using the square brackets means one must be very careful, like you should remember that you have to leave the spaces beside a prior and after the big bracket open and close, so that you won't be you won't lie onto the problem, or else it will shows the error. Okay, so next is our test, which works in 3 ways, where we compare two numbers and we also compare the two strings or a single string for a null value, and also we checks for the file attributes. In short, I can tell our test works on numbers, strings and file attributes. So coming on to the syntax of it, see here, I can give it by using a test command, that is test with the expression, or I can even give it without a test command by using a big brackets here by giving the expression within these brackets. So whenever you give the bracket with the expression means make sure that you are leaving the space before and after of both opening and closing part of the big brackets. Okay, coming on to the first type, that is we are going on to a numeric comparison. So here how it will be means where you are purely talking in terms of integers. Here our Unix never recognizes your floating point, that is the decimal points over here. So always it works on an integral part. So integer 1 is equal to, so EQ will stand for equal to integer 2. So you are looking at the integer 1 and integer 2 variables, where you are checking for algebraically equal, whether it is equal or not. So in fact our shell will work in fashion of mnemonics. It works on a mnemonics. Just you can see over here. EQ stands for equal, GT stands for greater than, LT stands for less than, NE stands for not equal, GE stands for greater or equal, LE stands for less or equal. So all this will shows that it is a fashion in the fashion of mnemonics, and each mnemonics is started with a hyphen. So always whenever you write this mnemonics, there should be a hyphen first. So come on, let's look into an example which we are going to see now. See here, x is assigned to y is assigned to 7 and z is assigned to 7.2. Remember we said that we will work only on integral parts. Still we have taken one floating point number. How it will work we will see. So okay, test, we are giving it an expression. We are saying that test x is equal to y. So just check it out. 5 is equal to y. Is that true? No, it's false. So that's why we have printed not equal. Next, test. X is less than. So LT means less than. So x is less than y. Check with the values. X means 5 and y means 7. 5 is less than y. Yes, of course it is true. So that's why it is mentioned true. Next, coming on to the third example, you can see z is greater than y. Z value is 7.2 is greater than y, that is 7. So it says that it is true. 7.2 is, see here once again, it is saying that 7.2 is not greater than 7. Why? Because it has taken only the integral part. So that's why it will recognize as 7 is equal to 7. It is not greater than 7. Okay. So next it will ask for z is equal to y. So it will say, okay, it's true. Why? 7 is equal to 7 only. As I said in the prior example, it won't consider 0.2 over here. So it will only work on the integral part. That's why it is taking 7 and it is saying that it is equal to 7. Okay, so this is how it will work. When you come on to a string comparison, we have some possibilities over here, saying that if you have a -n string, that is this command will gives you the true if the length of string is non-zero. So if at all the string's length is non-zero, then it will gives you true. So -z string, where this will give the length of string is 0, so then that will gives you the true value. And you have also have a equal to, where string 1 is equal to string 2, where you are telling that it is true if the strings are equal. So it is not equal to string 1 and string 2. It will be true if the strings are not equal. And also there is a stg command where it is assigned and not null. Okay, so coming on to the example here, you can look into the win bash. So here you are reading a input, that is enter your password pass. So both you are just giving the prompt as well as you are taking the input from the user for pass. So I am checking for if test the value of pass, whatever the pass we have got. So the value of pass is not equal to Tom. So we are telling that if at all this pass whichever you have given, so suppose if I have given Tom in this pass, then what it will happen? It will check for Tom is not equal to Tom. So it is equal, right? So not equal to Tom, then only you say echo wrong password. If I have given Tom means it is equal, so it will be like it will neglect this part and it will move on for the further execution. So if at all if I give something like Abhishta, so then what it will do? If test Abhishta which is not equal to Tom, yes of course Abhishta is not equal to Tom, then what it will do? It will just throw a message saying that wrong password. This is how we can use it. Okay. So file testing. So file oriented expressions, how we can use this. These are all the expressions which you can use based on your needs in your shell scripting. So if at all if I use -a file, -a along with the file if I give, it will just produce true if the file exists. For the file existence you have an option -a. And if you want a file exist and it is block oriented special file, then -b. If it is a character oriented means -c. If it is a directory means it is -d. If it is -e means the file is exist or not. This is itself is the checking process will be done. -s, it is nothing but it shows how the size greater than 0. -u file, which file exists and its set user ID's bit is set. And this is -w, where the file name is given if true, if the file exists and it is writable. So writable format is there means then only it will give you yes. So if it is executable, then it will pass the true. Once again it checks for file 1 is newer than file 2. This is new concept. See here, NT stands for, once again this is a new mnemonic. NT means newer than, OT means older than. Okay, so file 1 is newer than the file 2, then true. If it is not, means it will be false. File 1 OT, that is older than file 2, means true. Same way, if we have file 1 minus EF file 2, it is true if file 1 and file 2 have the same device and inode numbers. So if it all like your file have two files have the same device and inode numbers, then you can go and check for this minus EF option. So these are all the options are available. Like you can give it as a command also, so that you can retrieve or do the whatever the task which you want to. So coming on to the examples of this, see here we have a test condition 100 is less than 99. Okay, and we are ANDing with that and say echo yes or echo no. So what it has to do, it is just like your one single line command from used to give, no, the same way conditional operation used to operator is there, no. So in your C language it will act as the same. See here, if this command prints the text no, because 100 is not less than 99. Okay, so 100 is less than 99. It is not less than, right? So for that reason, what it will do, it will print as no. So next, 5 is equal to 6. Echo what? So this command prints 1. So 5 is equal to 6 because the expression is false. Remember, in our shell scripting, if it is false means it prints 1, and if it is true means it prints 0. Okay, so now next instance we are checking with if test is not minus s and $1, then echo $1 does not exist. So what it is doing, if the file specified by your first positional parameter, the parameter which you are passing to the shell procedure, if at all if the $1 does not exist, or if the file size is 0, then the test command will display the message saying that, okay, so here this does not exist. It will just gives you the message. If $1 exists and has its size greater than 0, then command will display nothing. Okay, so if it is present and if it file is 0 means then only does not exist, it will say. Okay, so this is how it will work. Okay, summing up today's class, we have explicitly seen about how to use the test and also the big brackets in order to evaluate expressions in the 3 terms in 3 ways, that is for the numeric comparison and string comparison and also with the file expressions. Okay, so these are all the references which I have referred. So go for your further knowledge. Thank you.